So good morning, everyone. Another beautiful day. And did you have visit from Mother Tara? Uh, so again, we will start like yesterday. First, I like to start as always, and also I think anytime you do practice, it's always good to start to quiet your mind, settle down your mind, and then once your mind is quiet, then trying to generate good intention, motivation for doing the practice. If your mind is not quiet, even you try to develop good motivation, it's hard because your mind gets distracted by the whatever thoughts, emotions, feeling that you might be experiencing. So that is why we try to, and also of course it helps to also keep our mind concentrated and bring in the moment present. Okay. So again, relax. Try to relax as much as you can. Make yourself comfortable. If possible, try to keep your spine or back straight. That helps your mind, keep your mind more alert. Then just breathe in and out naturally, normally. As you inhale and exhale, observe it mindfully and be aware of that. Simply just observing and being aware of your breath in and out. And once your mind is more settled in the moment present, try to generate good intention to being here. We can think that as long as we are in samsara, as long as we don't have control or freedom from our negative disturbing emotions and the karma, there's always something happening. Always something. Sometimes we have challenges, difficulties with our health. And sometimes when we don't have that challenge, but something else, in our job, in our business, problem, conflict with our friends, families, colleagues. And sometimes challenge, with the weather, circumstances, situations. And sometimes even there's nothing that is bothering us by external conditions, but sometimes, for whatever reasons, and sometimes we don't know the reasons, but our mind is low, down, disturbed, unhappy, and so forth. So always something's happening. If we really think about it, it's kind of tiring. When we think that we have free from all the challenges, problem, then something else comes, one after another. If it's not directly with us, with our families, friends, always something happening. Therefore, and that has been going for us from the beginner's lifetime. And it will continue endlessly unless we make effort to reduce and destroy those negative emotions, the delusions. And now is the time when we have met the Dharma, and when we know the Dharma a little bit, when we have little interest, some inspirations, now is the time to really practice, apply the Dharma so that we can reduce and destroy those afflictive emotions. So we don't have to go through this endless problem, conflict, pain, suffering again and again. Therefore, I'm going to try as much as possible to practice the Dharma in order to free myself and all sentient beings who are experiencing suffering like myself due to their own delusion like myself, that I'm going to practice the Dharma to free myself and all sentient beings from all the delusions which are the very root of our problem, conflict, sufferings. Not only engage in the practice of Dharma, I'm going to engage in the Bodhisattva practice. And in order to liberate all sentient beings from all their sufferings and the cause of the sufferings, and to help them to achieve ultimate happiness, I must achieve my own highest potential, the fully awakened state, the Buddhahood, as soon as possible. And I'm going to try. I'm going to achieve that state. I'm going to put all the effort to achieve that fully awakened state. By engaging in the Bodhisattva's practices such as six paramita, the practice of generosity, moral discipline, patience, joyous effort, meditate concentration, wisdom, so forth. And continue to act with the compassion, kindness, and bodhicitta mind. To be able to do that, we need to cultivate those mind through love, compassion, bodhicitta, wisdom, so forth. For that, we need to practice. And for the success of our practice, and for the success of to be able to help others, we need all the right conditions. And we need to be free from all the obstacles. For that very reason, I'm going to engage in the practice of Madhatara and listen to the talk on that. For own success of our practice, we need to clear all the obstacles, external, internal, the obstacles. Not only that, to be able to be help to others, we also need to clear all the obstacles to be able to do that. and need to gather all the conducive conditions. And for that, there's nothing more powerful than to rely on Mother Dada, who is inseparable from our root Guru. Therefore, whenever possible from now, by relying on Mother Tara, for we help others and for your own. I'm going to engage Mother Tara practice at least, whenever possible, when there's not much time to really practice much, at least, by reciting the mantras, keeping in our heart Mother Tara, and such as 21 Tara places and so forth. Okay.
So we will begin with praise to Shakyamuni Buddha, to the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all three ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, and all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. So then we'll recite the mantra from the Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. So Shayla, could you please go down to the mantra? Okay, thank you. We will recite 3 times. Taya cha om gate gate pada gate pada samgate bodhi soha. Taya cha om gate gate pada gate pada samgate bodhi soha. Taya cha om gate gate pada gate pada samgate bodhi soha. And then the short mandala offering. Sajipu ki ju shi me do tra li ji ni de gen di san ji Shiva Parsho Idaham Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryateyam.
Refuge in Bodhicitta. I go for refuge
Until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I crave through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings.
I go for
Refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merits I crave through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. Shodan Soki Chonam La Jonchu Bardu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Chonin Gepe Sonam Gi Drola Penchir Sange Trupar Sho.
Sange Dujan Yone, Odin Japomis, and Vision Dujan Begodam de la Chapsa. So, starting with Friday evening, we have been discussing about the Tara, and especially about Green Tara and the practice. And we did some practice as well. There are a couple of praise or prayer to Tara. That I really do not know who composed, but is one of those prayers that we recite in everyone's when we to the Taras. In Tibetan is called to Tarema, to Dara Jiget, Turi Navanam, Domaim La Chopa, Domaim La Chatsalo, or Capsuche, or Chopa Polina, depending on where you go. If it's going to refuge, then Capsuche, if you are prostrating, Chatsalo, if you are making offering, Chopa Pol. So, but it's same, just the last part, it changes, And so every Tibetan and Himalayan region, they know these prayers and praise. So that, and the meaning I already give a little bit yesterday, that with that, it explained the meaning of the mantras when I was explaining Koaleto Tarema, which means Tarema is, liberating from the samsara. Koaleto Tarema, Tudarai Jiketo, Tudarai, other next mantra, Tudarai is that free from the 8 fears or the dangers. Turin Navanam Ledo. And Turi, the next part of the mantra, is liberating or freeing from the illness or disease. Domayumla Chausala, and then I prostrate to the Mother Dara. Okay, so that explains the meaning of the mantras and functioning or activities of the Mother Dara. What Mother Daras, the Mother Dara's qualities, another ones that the shorter versions of 21 Tara phrases, there's 21 Tara phrases and shorter versions. where it says, I prostrate to the goddess for this liberating lady or Mother Tara. So again, homage to the Tare, Severe's heroine. So here again, Mother Tara is again the mantra Tara, Om Tare Tu Tare. Tare, because she is the protector. She's the protector, Severe or heroine protector. You know. With Tutare, dispelling all the fears. The next mantra, Tutare, is that dispel all the fears. You know, 8 fear, dangers, 16 fear or dangers, all others fears. You know, in the Tara Sutta, they talk about 6 kind of dangers and fear. 8 fear or danger we spoke a little bit yesterday, but also in some others they also speak about 16 others, and of course there's endless danger and fear. You know, so freeing from all of that. You know, and the next verse, granting all the benefit with turi. You know, so here is slightly different from the other praise. Turi is the in other one where it said liberating from the illness. Here is Turi is granting all the benefits, and there wouldn't be any contradictions. You know, the benefiting here. So as I mentioned here, we talk about the bodhicitta mind, the compassion mind. You know, the path of compassion, the path of method. Through compassion and practice of compassion, bodhicitta. You know, so granting all the benefit. And to her with sound soha, I bow. And in the Tara Puja or the practice of Siddhamani Tara Puja and practice, you know, also there is a couple of verses, you know, that kind of explain the qualities and the functioning or the activities of the Mother Taras. So in that it says in one of the requests in that, let me and all those who need protections come under the supreme giving gesture of your right hand, and as well as the refuge granting gesture of the left hand, you know, that liberate from all the fears. You know, so again, in all this, it clearly shows Mother Tara is one, the functionings of Mother Tara or the activities of Mother Tara, the qualities of Mother Tara is to protect from all the dangers, all the fears. And in another venerable area, great treasure of compassions. So again, as we talk in the, as we discuss, I think on Friday when we discuss about a couple of different stories of how Mother Tara came into, and as in one of the story is that Mother Tara came from the tears of the Avalokiteshvara. So it is the Buddha of compassion, Avalokiteshvara, manifesting into Tara's form to carry out that compassion work. So sometimes also Mother Tara is known as the female form of Buddha of the compassions. Avalokiteshvara is the male form, and Tara sometimes is known as, you know, female form of the compassion Buddha, as and just as it says, the great treasure of compassions, and that is because is Avalokiteshvara's qualities, you know, is his tears drop from there, the lotus arises from that lotus, Tara appears, Mother Tara appears, and then Mother Tara says, I will help you to carry all your work to help and benefit sentient beings. And so that is, so she is the great treasure of compassion. And grant your blessing to increase all favorable conditions. And that is one of the functionings, qualities of Mother Tara, is to grant all the favorable conditions for our spiritual practice. Especially for our spiritual practice, but also others for good health, favorable conditions of good health, favorable conditions for happy life, favorable conditions for peace, harmonies, all of that, because all of those conditions help also our spiritual practice. If you have better health, you have less obstacle to practice. If you are more peaceful, if there's more peaceful conditions, if there's happy conditions, it's more suitable to practice the Dharma. You have less obstacles, so therefore, all favorable. And clear away all the obstacles. And the other functionings or the qualities of Mother Tara is to clear all the obstacles, to clear all the obstacles. Of course, there are many different ceremonies, rituals, practice, to create different obstacles, to gather different conducive, favorable conditions. There are so many different. I personally believe, if you have total trust and faith in Mother Tara, she will be the one to clear all the obstacles. She will be the one who would gather all the favorable conditions. As I mentioned before, the Kadamba masters, Adisha, he didn't rely on all other different deities and different rituals and different that, just by relying on Mother Tara. That is, mainly on that. And I also kind of noticed that with His Holiness Dalai Lama too. When we have sudden, whether it's during the COVID, or when there is a kind of war, or when there is some kind of, other condition in the world, when students ask what kind of practice they need to do, and most cases, the answer is to do the Tara practice. When praise of Tara, Tara mantras, Tara practice. I also personally rely mostly on that. When someone asks me for some prayers, because they are having some obstacles, because they are having some challenges, of course, sometimes you have to do specific things because they ask those specific. But in general, so anyway, so that's where was that? To clear away every obstacles, and that all migrated being may swiftly enter the city of internal joy, and that is the ultimate goal, to be able to, the reasons to have all the favorable conditions and free from all the obstacles ultimately, so that all sentient beings can achieve the ultimate happiness, the ultimate inner peace, inner joy, internal joy, inner peace. You know, um, and that is also the ultimate goal of the the Mahayana practitioner, Bodhisattvas, practitioner Bodhisattva's path. You know, and of course, if you don't have the faith, confidence, then regardless of what practice you do, what ceremony, what rituals, what practice you do, it might not be as effective. You know, how effective your practice become, it depends on how much faith, confidence, trust you have in those practice. You know. Um, so yesterday, we just discussed about the eight danger of fear. Within that, we talk about one. Externally, the danger of lying, which is internally the danger of pride, arrogance, self-importance. Yeah. And then externally, the fear and danger of wild elephant, and then internally, the dangers and the fear of the ignorance, confusion mind. So those two we talked yesterday. We discussed a little bit, and then the danger of fire. You know. So again, when there is like kind of wildfire or that danger, if you rely on Mother Tara and do the practice, also is powerful way of protections. Climate is, whether it's a fire, whether it will come later, the water floods, whether it's earthquakes, tornadoes, all of that. Of course, we have to be cautious and take all the steps that we need to protect ourselves, but at the same time, rely on that, on spiritually, on that level. It would be effective and helpful. Mm. So external danger of the fire, internal the danger and fear of anger, the fire and angers. Just as fire can burn everything down, the anger can burn down. The anger can burn down all your virtues, all your merit that you have created so much, with so much effort in the past. And of course, anger can burn down your peace, your happiness, peaceful mind. It can burn down your goodness of compassions, loving, caring. When you are angry, you are no more same caring persons. You are no more same loving persons in that moment. Before you are taking care of so much caring, loving, compassion, whether it's your pet, whether it's someone, you get upset and angry, then totally your behavior is opposite of that. In that moment, harsh, unkind, mean, cruel, with your thoughts, with your speech, with your actions. That is what it is, the anger. such anger. And so, as we mentioned, if there is something that we have to be fearful, we have to be fearful of that fire of anger more than the external fire. The internal fire of anger is much more worse. We have to be more fearful of that nature, and we have to try to apply any practice, any meditation, any method that we have to kind of reduce the anger, not to give the space for anger to arise. No, not allow, not create the condition for anger to arise. And if it does arises, not to give continuity to that anger. Instead learning to let it go quickly, and instead of holding on that and giving continuity. The more continuity you give, the more it burns down you. The more it burns your good qualities, the more it burns down your merit, the more it burns down your peaceful mind, so that. And then next one is the danger and the fear of poisonous snake. In India, there's a lot of cobra. Here we have rattlesnakes. So that is external dangers, and some of the external dangers and fear is speak up here. I think in the old time, when people are traveling through the forests, often those are the lot of the dangers they face. Wild animals, when they go from place to places, village to villages, so I think probably that is also why they talk about the danger of lion, external, the dangers of wild elephant, dangers, the poisonous snakes, those, because you encounter a lot. And then in terms of the internal snake, poisonous snake, is the jealousy. Is the jealousies. If you are bitten by the poisonous snake, there's a danger to your life. There could be danger to your life. And same when we have this jealousy, internal poisonous snake of jealousy, then it destroy, that jealousy. One, immediately it makes your mind so uncomfortable, unpeaceful, Instead of being happy and joyful with someone's success, happiness, virtues, you become very unhappy. That is what jealousy does. You envy, you become very unhappy to see that success happening to someone else instead of yourself. You feel so unhappy and jealous to see someone being virtuous instead of you being that. You feel so jealous and unhappy, someone having happiness instead of it's happening to you. That is what jealousy does. And with jealousy, then it gives rise to, doubt, suspicious, mistrust, anger, all of that, isn't it? In relationship, that is what happens. When someone is jealousy, when they have this jealousy, they started to have suspicious, doubt, and mistrust their partners, because if they are speaking or doing something with someone else because of jealousy, then you start to think, oh, maybe they're having some relationship, you know. Maybe they have having some kind of, you know. So that brings that kind of suspicious mind, doubt, and not being able to trust fully. And not only that, then it brings anger as well, you know. And through all these different feelings, emotions arising due to that jealousy, you know, then it hurts you, it pains you, you know. It brings so much pain and suffering to you, you know. Much more worse pain and suffering than by beaten by the external poisonous snakes. Next one is the fear and dangers of robberies, bandit. Again, it seems, you know, when you're traveling, you know, it seems that is where they face, where they can rob all your belongings, everything's, you know. That is external. Internal is the wrong view. The wrong view is the internal danger, and that you should be fearful, that can rob, just like anger, your merit, your virtues. It is mentioned among all those different afflictive emotions or negative emotions, the anger and the wrong view are the worst, most powerful in destroying all the merit or virtues that you have created in the past. You know? So therefore, again, that could rob you all of that, you know, rob all your hard-earned or all that you have worked so hard to create enough positive karma, to create enough virtues, to create enough merit over the time, that can be robbed by cultivating those wrong views, you know. And then next is prison. The danger of prison, you know, the danger of being thrown in the prisons, the fear of being thrown in the prisons externally, you know. Internally, the prisons of miserliness, the miserliness, the prison of miserliness. Miserliness, yeah, miserliness, yeah. Average or avarice, how do you say? Avarice or miserliness, yeah. Mm. Avocado? That is more easy for me. I can pronounce that better. Instead of upper rice, avocado. So again, the prison of mindlessness. Yeah. When you have this kind of miserliness, greediness, it's really prison. It's really prison. Just as a prison, you don't have the freedom, and you can never completely relax. You cannot completely relax and feel comfortable. Generally, of course, someone who has tools practice, that is different, but otherwise that is, you know, constantly, how can I free from these prisons? How can I shorten my stay in prison? What are the means? How can I get, so there is that you cannot fully be comfortable and relaxed. Same when we have this inner presence of miserliness and greediness, and that is what is always, sense of feeling not enough, not enough, always sense of feeling insecurity, you know. No matter how much you have, always feeling, you know, I cannot give, I cannot let it go because you feel insecure about that. If I let it go, if I give this away, what will happen? What will happen to me? How am I going to take care of myself? How I'm going to take care of myself in the future when I need this and that? So we come with all these things, all the possibly wrong that could go in our life, and that we could need all this. And therefore, no matter how much you have, you still feel you don't have enough to feel secure about yourself. You know, even you have more than secure yourself, your children and grandchildren's, but still in your mind, when you have these kinds of emotion, this kind of mind, such as miserliness or greediness, when our mind is kind of strong of those, then that is how you feel. You feel that there is not enough safe or secure to be able to be secure yourself. And so you can never feel relaxed. You can never feel content, satisfied and content and feel completely relaxed, completely comfortable. So it's just like being in prison, just like being in prison, you know. And those are the worst prisons. Those are the worst prisons, Even externally we are out of prison, but internally we are in prison. It is similar to, there was a stories, I think it's the Zen stories that I saw, there was one teachers and the younger monks, and they have to cross a river. And there was one lady who was trying to cross, but she couldn't cross, And then the teacher carried her to the other shore, because she needed help. She couldn't cross herself. So teacher just carry her and help her to cross. And then they continue their journey. And the young monks, the students said, teacher, the monks, we shouldn't be, as a monk, you shouldn't be carrying that girl or that ladies, And the teacher says, I've already let it go before and you are still holding that, So in that way, he's still in prison in that way, Whereas the teachers just carry and that is all. Didn't continue to think and just hold on that. But that is what we do, So anyway, and the next 7 one is the danger of floods, the danger and fear of floods. And of course, as we can see so often, more and more often nowadays, all over the world, due to the change in climate, where there's more floods happenings, bigger floods, and more dangers, the internal flood, that is the external flood. That flood that could kind of flood and carry away your houses, your farmings, your land, or even the persons, and lose the life as well possible, it can flood and carry away all of that. But the internal flooding, the flood is the attachment, the attachments, just at the wild fire of anger and kind of burn down everything, same way the flood of attachments, can what you said, the flood, or it can take everything's, Mm. And that is why the anger and attachments are the root of other illusions, jealousies, greediness, resentments, grudges. All of them arise from the attachment, and the resentment, grudges. They all arise from the anger, such as jealousies, greediness, miserliness. They all arise from the attachments. And just like the flood is hard to stop the flood, it's very hard to stop the attachments. Very hard to stop the attachments. In some of the scriptures, they describe attachments like the oil that has been sit inside the robe or inside the paper. It's hard to clean that. It just go everywhere. One drop of the oil sips in the whole paper. If it's just another kind of dirt, you can clean that part easy. Once the oil sips, it just go, and it's much more harder to clean. It's much more harder to overcome, and even the anger, the fire of anger, Many times the fire of anger arises from the attachments. The anger is being fueled by the attachments. If we see in many cases why we're upset and angry with something, if we look deeper, why I'm so upset and angry with someone, why am I so upset and angry with certain things, certain situations, deeper lot of time is fueled by the attachments. Is fueled by the attachments. And therefore Shantideva, describe or use example the attachment as being the fuel for anger. And he give example, whether it's in a town, village, or another house next. If one house is on the fire, and if there is dry herbs like grasses, what you call pigs, that will be the fuel for the fire to start the whole village and the whole town. Same way, attachment is like that that dry egg, that grass is the fuel. So that is how dangerous it is. How dangerous it is. In sense, it gives rise to so many negative emotions, anger, jealousy, pride, miserliness, all of that. Not only that, if we check a lot of fear that we have in our life, okay? Fear, worry, anxieties that we have in our life, those all most are fueled by the attachments. Check it out. I might have a lot of fear about my health, my well-being, worry about my health, my well-being. Why? Why do we have that fear and worry and anxiety my well-being? Because I'm attached to my health. Because I'm more attached I am, the more worry I have, the stronger worry I have, stronger fear I have. Less attachment I have, less worry, less fear. Same. We have fear and worry, about, our old age. We have fear and worry about, our financial situations. We have fear and worry about relationships and all of that. Why? The more attachment you have to all these things, the more stronger fear, more stronger worry, anxiety you have. Less attached to all of that, you less attached in relationship, you have less fear and worry, anxiety about that. You have less attachment to wealth, you have less fear, worry about the situation of your wealth. You are less attached to being youthful, you have less worry and fear about aging. So again, if we look, our life is driven by so much fear, so much worry. Hardly any day goes by where you are not fearful and worried about something. And that is because we have so much attachment to too many things. So attachment is that like that flood, the inner flood. And then last one is, evil spirit. Again, spirit or are another being, and they have also good and bad, just like human beings. We have good people, bad people, social people, same spirit, they are samsaric beings just like ourselves. And some of them less harmful, some of them more harmful. Or, in general, maybe not necessarily bad and good, but in certain situations, just like we, certain time they become more harmful, certain time not. So, but basically, evil spirit are those harmful spirit, that harms. Mm. So that there could be spirit harms, sometimes there could be spirit harm by those evil spirit, harmful spirit. Maybe harmful might be better than evil, you know. Um, then the internal is that, delusional doubt. The delusional doubt is like the spirit that harms. And because of delusional doubt, a lot of time that delusional doubt kind of obstructs us from knowing more, learning more, and from having more experience, from having more knowledge, from having higher realizations. So we can say there are, we can say, there is a constructive, positive doubt and harmful, delusional doubt. So we have to differentiate those two things. Constructive, positive doubt is important, needed. That give you kind of curiosity, you know, you don't know, but you have it more, because of that doubt, it opened you to explore more. Because of that doubt, you want to study more, you want to learn more, you want to explore more, and through more studies, that studies, that exploration came from your curiosity that is driven by your doubt. Not knowing what is and wanting to know that, and so that helps you to grow more, learn more, study more, gain more experience, you know, gain more wisdom, and make progress over the path. But the delusional doubt is something you have doubt, and because of that doubt, you close yourself, Because of that doubt, you block yourself, so you don't want to explore. Do you get it? You have some doubt and say, sometimes you have doubt and then you say, I'm going to do nothing with this because you have some doubt. Do you get it? Like a lot of people's, they hear of some subjects, whether in Buddhism, whether it is in other religions, or whether it is in, let's say we can say karma, we can say uh, um, past and future life, all different topic like that. People hear about it and they have doubt. They have doubt whether is it really possible that there is past and future life? Is it really possible? Is possible? So they cannot say yes, no. They have doubt. But instead of that doubt leading them to explore and trying to understand and learn and study more, that doubt made them, I want to do nothing to do with Buddhism. Do you get it? I don't want to hear anything about Buddhism. It's all, they might think is all blind faith, or based on blind faith, based on some of those issues. And that happens in everything, all religions, that happens. Even in science, it happens, even in the media, you know. You have doubt about certain media, okay? And you don't want to listen what they have to say. Your mind is totally blocked. Even maybe they have something good to think to say because of our doubt about their credibility. Do you get it? Maybe they might have in the past, they might have given something which is not true, let's say misinformation, disinformations, whether it's by mistake or by intentionally, there's something. And based on some of those, then our mind become very doubtful about all their informations, all their news, you know. And then you feel I have nothing to do with this news or these channels or this media. And then sometimes we only hear from one side, from what you like. And that is how this country is divided, and all over the world, because one section of people only listen to one part of the news media, other sections listen to the only one part of the news media, and both know their what do you call, not customer, what do you call, audience. They know their audience and they present what their audience want to hear. You know, lot of time, you know. And so then it's hard to have full, holistic, the full informations, full news, unbiased, the whole things is harder. You know? And then, so I feel those are kind of like, you know, we might not trust or might trust, but we might have doubt, but still, instead of totally rejecting it, you should be still wanting to explore, wanting to know, you know, wanting to explore and see true or not. And so you see there can be two kind of doubt. One is positive, one is negative. So that is what we are calling here the delusional doubt that is not that is harmful, that is obstacle for our growth, you know. Yeah, so those are the and so Tara, Mother Tara has the qualities or the enlightened activities to protect from both those external and internal danger and the fears. You know, when our mind is open, totally open, with that total open mind, we rely on Tara, and based on that, when we engage in a practice from your depth of heart, fully, totally, then you know we can receive protections from the external and internal fear and dangers, you know, in some way, another way, you know. Sometimes at office, sometimes it's not so not so obvious, in much more subtle way, But so yeah, I think maybe we will have a break. Yeah. 上九三九仁波切马给巴那给九切给我念巴灭巴空来空度陪我来修。Yeah, 45. Again, welcome everyone. And so we'll do the practice. Okay. Just to let you know when I'm leading the practice, probably you might have noticed I might not be leading exactly same every time. I might be, and it is just to give some ideas, how it can be done in different ways, and I feel it is important to know because a lot of time you see one practice and then you feel this is the only way that you can do, and so again, just try to relax yourself, make yourself comfortable. And watch your breath mindfully for a few moments. Then you can try to have a good intention by thinking the purpose of my life is not only to be just concerned with just myself or my own well-being, but to be able to help, contribute, and support other sentient beings to have concern for well-being of all other sentient beings. And I'm going to try as much as I can, according to my capacity, to reduce and relieve the suffering of all sentient beings as much as I can. And to help to improve well-being and happiness of all sentient beings as much as I can at the moment. Ultimately, I would like to liberate all sentient beings from all their suffering and cause of suffering permanently. And to lead them to not only temporary happiness, but ultimate inner peace and happiness, or fully awakened state. And to be able to help in that way, I myself, first, I myself need to achieve my own highest potential, the fully awakened state. And in order to achieve that fully enlightened state, awakened state, I must engage in the Bodhisattva practices. For that, I need to train my mind through practice meditations. And for the success of the mind training and the practice, I need all the help that I can get. All the inspirations, all the blessings, all the courageous confidence. And for that, I'm going to do Tara practice. There is nothing more powerful than Tara to be able to inspire us, to give up inspirations, courageous confidence, like ourselves. Also, for the success of my practice, and also to be able to be of greatest benefit to all sentient beings, I need to gather all the favorable conditions and clear all the obstacles. And to do that, I need the support of Guru Mother Tara. And Mother Tara is the most powerful deity to rely on to do that. For that purpose, I'm going to do this practice. And to become myself, Mother Tara, or achieve the state of Mother Tara. So then you can visualize, your enemy in front of you or someone you dislike most. And surrounding that is all other beings with whom you have conflict, difficulties, challenges. On the right and the left, father and mother, and surrounded by all others, families, friends, colleagues. And behind the stranger that you don't have good relation and nor bad relationship, and surrounded by all others who are similar. And then surrounding them whole space, with all sentient beings. Joining the practice together. And especially if you want to think of someone who really need help, support, and you can think them more specifically, either on the right or left or in front of you too. Then, try to visualize Mother Tara in the space in front of you. And her color is a radiant green light body. She's very beautiful. Just by looking at her, it subdue and destroy all the negative feelings, emotions. So soothing. And she's looking at all sentient beings like the mother to only her precious child, with wisdom and compassionate eyes, slightly open, and with a great smile of compassion. And she is seated on multicolored lotus. And her left foot drawn in and her right foot out, resting on little multicolored lotus. And her right hand in the gesture of posture or gesture of giving or sublime realizations, holding a upala blue lotus. And the right hand resting on the right knee. And the left hand also in the gesture of granting the refuge and close by the heart, and again holding blue upala lotus flower. And she is, in essence, our root guru. Our root guru in the form of this green Tara. They are one person, one being, with a different two form or different aspect. So try to feel strong. And she is also manifestations of all the Buddha's enlightened activities energy. And she represents the power to act, to cut through problems, to get things done, to remove all the obstacles. Also, she's young, radiant, full of energy, full of bliss. And she wears color celestial garment, silken garments, and ornaments, jewelry on her crown, ears, ankles, arms, neck, hand. And she's always in deep meditative state, at the same time always benefiting and helping other sentient beings. And she's accepting each and every sentient beings as they are without any judgmental thought. Pure compassion, love. Also, Mother Tara is the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, all in one. And she's all the Buddha. And she's the Guru. All. And then we try to contemplate a little bit the suffering of all sentient beings that is surrounding us. Each and every sentient beings, whether they are poor, rich, educated, uneducated, male, female, no matter where they come from, no matter what spiritual practice they practice, no matter what political view they have, everyone is in the same boat. We all are in the same boat. Nobody wants suffering. Everyone wants happiness. Same. But everyone's struggling to have real happiness. And everyone is experiencing a lot of conflict, problem, challenges, difficulties, pain and suffering. Everyone, no differences. Some experience more physical pain, some experience more emotional pain, but everyone is experiencing pain and suffering. So after we reflect, contemplate on the pain and suffering of others, try to feel, understand, and feel these are unwanted, just like our own suffering. No one should suffer. No one should suffer. Whether it's a good person or a bad person. Whether it's a very kind person or very mean and cruel person. No one should suffer. With that, try to generate strong compassions, the wish to see them all free from all the suffering and cause of suffering. The wish to free them from all the suffering and cause of suffering. The wish to see them have true happiness and cause of happiness, and the wish to lead them to true happiness and cause of happiness. And to do that, At the moment, we ourselves cannot do that because we are in the same situation, same boat. Who can help us to free is the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, the Mother Tara. Therefore, that I'm going to go for refuge to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, Mother Tara, so that she can support, help us to free once and all sentient beings from all the suffering and cause of suffering. With that strong compassion mind and with that strong faith, trust to Guru Mother Tara, who is the Buddha Dhamma Sangha all, we go for refuge and bodhicitta. So page number 3, refuge and bodhicitta. Okay. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly by my merits from giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly by my merits from giving and other perfections. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Chedan Sogi Chonam La Chanchu Patu Dani Kyapsu Che Dagi Jinso Gi Be Sonam Gi Dola Penje Sangye Duba. Then four immeasurable, again we recite each of them slowly and then try to feel it. The word that we are reciting is just a tool to feel it. Okay? So the main is to feel it. The word is just a tool. The first, may all sentient beings have happiness and causes of happiness. And especially those who need support, special support. We can think, and especially those whom we have conflict, really wishing them happiness and cause of happiness. Next, may all sentient beings be free from suffering and causes of suffering. Next, may all sentient beings never be separated from happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and hatred for those who stand. Then we do the 7 lamp prayer. I prostrate reverently with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, both actually arranged and mentally emanate. We can take few moments to imagine, visualize, making whole space full of all different offerings to Guru Mother Tara, especially things that you enjoy, you like. All the perfume, flowers, incense, food, lights, music. Next, I confess all my negative actions and downfall collected from beginner's time. I rejoice in the virtues of ordinary beings and others. We stay a few moments. Again, we rejoice in the virtues of our own virtues of this life, of past life. So wonderful. Whatever little virtues that we have been able to create. And then we rejoice in the virtues of all the gurus, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arhats. How wonderful. May we be able to practice all these virtues like themselves. And we also rejoice the virtues of ordinary beings. They are not perfect, they have their problems, weakness, but trying to improve, trying to be better. Whether they're successful or not successful, they're trying and trying to engage in the virtues. So wonderful, so lovely. And next, please remain until the end of cycle existing and to turn the wheel of Dharma for transmaterial beings. I dedicate my own and others' virtues to the great enlightenment. In the short mandala, Sa Shi Pe Ki Chung Shin Me To Ta Re Shi Ni De Yen Ma De Sangye Shin To Mi De Do Ri Nama Pa Shin Ge Pa Sho. We imagine and visualize making the offering of the whole universe, in our own body, life, and all the wealth, all the virtues, without any grasping, hesitations, without any clinging, without any attachment, with a great joy to the Guru Mother Tara, and she accepts very happily to give us the opportunity to create the merit, to create virtues, to give us opportunity to practice giving. Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kani Aya. In having accepted and enjoyed those in Mother Tara's heart, great bliss of voidness or emptiness is developed. So again, so like yesterday, we tried to do with the 5 chakras. So again, visualize and imagine at the Mother Tara's broad chakra, on top of the chakra, there's a Om, white Om syllable surrounded by Tara's mantra, white. And then from there, Tara sends very powerful, blissful white light and nectar which enter your brow, through your brow to your, and completely fill your whole body. Every part of your cells, every part of atom would fill with that powerful, blissful energy. And with that, all your problem and suffering and happiness and the grossness of your body are completely purified by that light and nectar. And all the harm you have ever done to any living beings with this body and all your infinite past bodies is also purified, totally destroy. Not even one atom left, not even the trace of that. So really try to feel with strong convictions. And then again, more powerful, blissful light and nectar flow from the Om and surround the mantras. And you receive that through your brown, broad chakras into your whole body, filled with great bliss. And the blissful is exalted bliss, you know. And just like Mother Tara's body, you know, now there's nothing gross, concrete, but instead it's like a rainbow body, indestructible. Next, you visualize at Tara's throat chakra, there is a red R syllable surrounded by the mantra, red mantra of the Tara. From there, bliss, powerful, blissful light and nectar, red light and nectar flow into your whole body through your throat. Fill with blissfulness, every part, and then it purify all your problem of speech, such as inappropriate speech, useless speech, uncontrolled speech, angry, out of control speech, harsh speech, the inability to express yourself appropriately, all of them being purified. And all the harm you have ever done to any living beings with your speech of this life and in infinite past life are completely eradicated, cleansed. by that powerful, blissful light and the nectar. Again, more powerful, blissful light and nectar flow from the throat chakra. And again, feel your whole body through your throat. And then your wholeness is full of blissfulness, perfect, compassionate wisdom, appropriate speech, just like the speech of Guru Mother Tara. Such that whatever sound you utter, make, is necessarily helpful and beneficial to any living beings who hear the sound, the words. And try to feel this energy, powerful energy of the speech. Next, visualize or imagine at the heart chakra, blue hung syllable surrounded by blue Tara mantras. From there, Tara sends very powerful and blissful light and nectar and enter your whole body through your heart, from your heart. Then imagine by the power of that blissful, powerful light and nectar energy, it completely purifies all your unhappiness of your mind, all your confusion, arrogance, attachment, anger, jealousy, pride, resentment, feeling of being hurt, whatever anxiety, fear, self-hatred, self-doubt, all of them completely purified, totally gone. Including the fundamental ignorance, the ego grasping, which is the root of all the delusions and your sufferings, is also completely cut. And not even one atom left. And again, from the heart chakra of the Tara and the blue syllable and the mantras, Tara send more powerful, blissful light and nectar energy. You receive that. Your whole body is filled with that blissful energy. And you receive, with the enlightened mind of compassion, bodhicitta, wisdom, omniscient mind, just like the mind of Guru Aryatara. Next, you visualize the syllable of saw. Yes, V-A, at her Mother Tara's navel chakra, which yellow, and surrounded by the yellow mantra of Tara. From there, again, powerful, blissful yellow light, nectar flow into oneself through your navel, your whole body, and every part is filled with that great bliss. Then it completely purifies all your feeling of hopelessness, powerlessness, self-doubt, being discouraged. Inconfidence, the feeling of inconfidence, and inability to act effectively. All the blocked energy to act correctly, properly. All of those I can completely destroy. Not one atom left, not even the trace of that. And more powerful, blissful yellow light, nectar flow from the navel chakra and the mantras into oneself. Feel whole part of your body, atoms, with that great blissful energy. Receiving, the hopeful mind, confidence, trust. Sorry. And the ability and skillful means and power to act effectively, correctly. And next, you visualize green earth level at the secret chakra of Green Tara, Mother Tara. Again, from there, powerful and blissful beams of green light and nectar flow that penetrate your sacred chakra, filling you completely with that blissful energy. And we totally purify all your out of control, unhappy attachment energy, all the yearning, the desire, the dissatisfied mind that makes you miserable, unclear, and unsatisfied, which also cause you to harm others. All of those are completely purified, destroyed. Not even an atom of that is left. More powerful, blissful green light penetrates your sacred chakra and filling your whole body and whole of yourself completely with the powerful, blissful energy. And receive the mind of total satisfactions, total contentment, fulfillment, happiness, and true pleasure, joy. And next, you imagine from the all five chakras, from the all five syllables and the mantras, five color, powerful, blissful energy flow simultaneously, penetrating your five chakras and filling your whole beings, whole body, every part of atom, every part of cells with this powerful, blissful energy. And with that, then it destroys the subtle obscurations, the imprint that has been left by the delusion is totally eradicated, destroyed. Not even trace is left. Mm. Then try to feel, now you have eliminated or free from all the obscurations, have actualized all the positive qualities, and all the enlightened activities to act correctly in most beneficial way towards each and every sentient beings according to the need of those individuals. Then you imagine the lotus of Mother Tara dissolve into the Mother Tara, and then Mother Taras descend and come on your crown, facing the same way as you. And Matara, who is in essence your root guru, dissolve in the green light. The green light melt and dissolve into yourself. Through the crown and through the central channel to the heart chakra. And she merge with your very subtle consciousness, your clear light consciousness, the most pure consciousness. And now, your most subtle mind or consciousness, the Guru's enlightened mind, and the Dedi, Mother Tara's enlightened mind, they all become one, inseparable. So try to rest and remain in that oneness. And feel the blissfulness of being in that oneness. Then can think the purpose of me achieving this fully awakened state is purely to help and benefit sentient beings that are surrounding us. That is purely to liberate them from all the suffering and cause of suffering and lead them to true ultimate happiness. So having achieved this fully enlightened state, there's nothing else or more or less than to liberate sentient beings from their suffering, cause of suffering, to enlightenment. So try to generate a strong wish inspirations to do that. Again, if you have initiation, you can visualize yourself as Tara, Mother Tara. If not, you can visualize Mother Tara at your heart as we recite the mantras. You imagine from the heart of the Tara on top of the moon disk, There's a blue thumb syllables surrounded the Tara's mantras, and from that, uh, powerful, blissful energy of the light and nectar flow in all 10 directions. On each of those beam bearing small Tara, on top of each of sentient beings' crown, and from there, purifying each and every sentient being's suffering, cause of suffering, all the karma, delusion, obscurations completely, and leading them to ultimate happiness of Mother Tara state. So while keeping as much as possible, we try to recite the mantra. Om Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Re Tu Re Soha. Om Tare 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 Tu Re Soha. So imagine and visualize with total convictions from each of the Tara, from on top of each of the crown of all sentient beings, purify from the powerful, blissful energy of the light and nectar, completely purify all the sufferings, all the karma, contaminated karma, all the delusion, obscuration completely. They become like crystal clear without any trace. And as we recite more powerful, blissful light and nectar, enter them and receiving all the blessing, light and body specimen, all the realization positive qualities, and all of them achieving the state of Mother Tara, they all become Mother Tara. So while keeping that visualization, we recite Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 You can try to, recite mentally, not with the mouth. Okay, so then, yeah, and we go to page number 7 after the mantra, just the request, just below the mantra. Yeah, page number 7. Please, root Guru, glorious and precious, remain abound a lotus in my heart, and looking after me through your great kindness, grant me the realization of body, speech, and mind. Okay, then. So now visualize and imagine the whole universe and the planet that we live in. The country, the world, the country, the place that we live in, they all dissolve into empty. They all dissolve in the vast empty space. And then your own body that we cherish so much, the basis for where we feel I or me, even that dissolve from your feet upward towards your heart chakra, and from your crown down towards your heart chakra, all dissolve from top and bottom to the heart chakra. Feel that everything observe into that your heart chakra. Not only your body, now imagine all your sense perceptions, and all your thoughts, all your conceptions, deliberate conceptual constructions, including the thought of me or I, all of them also dissolve into the empty space of clear light mind. It's like all the waves that come from the oceans and dissolve into the oceans. All these thoughts, perception that arises from that mind dissolve into that mind. So now what is left is only the most subtle, pure, and as vast as space, the clear light mind, which is one and inseparable from the Guru's and Mother Tara's mind. That is all that is left. that everything that arises from that mind, nothing exists from its own side, absolutely. Everything is merely imputed. The sense of I is merely imputed. Nothing more than that. Nothing less than that. The sense of my body, my mind, my friend, enemy, everything that's surrounding us, everything external, internal objects, samsara, nirvana, nothing exists from its own side. Nothing exists inherently. They all are empty of inherent existence. They all are empty of existing from its own side. Totally empty. The way everything exists is only by merely imputed, merely labeled. And now think the mind, the clear light mind that relies that emptiness directly. Think that this is, I am the Dharmakaya. This is who I am. This is my highest potential. Try to experience that vastness, that spaciousness, that emptiness, that blissfulness. All that is left is that the spacious vastness, emptiness, blissfulness. And then generate a strong wish to be greatest help, benefit to all sentient beings. And with that thoughts, or with that wish, the most clear light, wisdom realizing the emptiness, manifests into a light, and that manifests into, if you have high yoga tantra, as a tara, otherwise as your body. And then make strong, you know, strong prayer or dedicate, commit resolutions that with this body and mind, that I will benefit whichever sentient beings that I come into contact, whether it's human, animal, or any other beings. Whatsoever the purpose of my body's speech is to only help and benefit other sentient beings. Okay. Can we go to the page of 21 Tara? Page number 9, starting with invocations. Is there? Yeah.
Invocation. From your sublime abode at the Tara, O Tara, born from the green letter Tam, your crown adorned with Amitabha, action mother of the Buddhas of the three times. Tara, please come here with your attendants. The gods and the goddesses bow down to your lotus feet, O Tara, you who rescue all who are destitute. To you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. And the praises. Om, I prostrate to the noble, transcendent liberator. Homage, Tara, swift heroic, eyes like lightning instantaneous, sprung from open stamens of the Lord of Three Worlds, two-born lotus. Homage, she whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with light rays resplendent as 1,000-star collection. Homage, golden blue and lotus, water-born in hand adorned, giving effort, calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage, crowned at the Tathagata's actions triumph without limit, relied on by conquerors' children, having reached every perfection. Homage, filling with tutare, whom desire direction and space, trampling with her feet the seven worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the all lords, Shaka, Agni, Vamara, Marut, honored by the host of spirits, corpsers and guards, yakshas, great in pay sounds, destroying foes' magic diagrams, her feet pressing left out right in, blazing in a raging fire blaze, homage to a very dreadful destroyer of Mara's champions, she with frowning lotus visage, who is slayer of all enemies, homage at her heart, her fingers, adorn her with three jewel mudra, light ray masses all excited, all directions will adorn her. Homage, she's so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with tutare, subjugating Mara's Davis. Homage, she able to summon all earth guardians assembly, shaking crown room with her whom sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage, crown adorned with crescent, moon all ornaments most shining. Amitabha in her hair, not sending out much light eternal. Homage, she mid wreath a blazing, in fire abiding, righteous love and choice surrounds you. Troops of enemies destroying. Homage, she who strikes her ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scowling with the letter whom the seven levels she does conquer. Homage, happy, virtuous, peaceful, she whose field is peace nirvana, she endowed with omen soha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage, she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder, frees with whom in knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters, homage to a witty letter of the shape of syllable, whom by foot stamping shakes the three worlds, Meru Mandara in Vinya, homage holding in her hand the hair mark moon of Deva lake form, with thy spoken Tara and pay, totally dispelling poison. Homage, she whom gods and their kings and the kinnaras do honor. armored in all joyful splendor. She dispels bad dreams and conflicts. Amid she who is two eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon. With Christ Hara and Tutare, she dispels severe contagion. Homage full of liberating, powered by the set of three natures, destroys hosts of spirit yakshas, and raise corpses supreme to Ray. These praises with the root mantras and prostrations, thus are 21.
Dedication to next page. Page number 16. Yeah. Due to the merit of this virtuous action, may I plead instead of Aditya and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel Bodhisattva that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase more and more. Long life prayers. In the land encircled by the snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chedek Shakti Yaso, please remain until samsara end. You who uphold the subtle moral way, who serve as a bountiful sustaining, preserving, spreading, mention another victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayer, honoring to these sublime ones, save myself from others or disciple. Please return swiftly. Okay, thank you. So I guess we will start at 1 because it is already 12. So, or 2. Is 1 or 2? 2, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so we'll start at 2 o'clock. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.